Hello and welcome to Wish You Were Here Today. Well, I reckon it's about time you escaped the British winter by planning your next holiday. Or even better, why not just win your next holiday in, say, the next 20 minutes or so? Let's take a look at where today's competition winner is going to be going. And you could be there. All you have to do is answer this next question. Phone lines are open as I speak and calls cost just 25 pence. And we'll be announcing the name of the winner before the end of the show. So who knows, you could be packing those suitcases sooner than you thought. In the meantime, let's find out where we're going in today's programme. Now, lots of mums and dads have the attitude that if the kids are happy on holiday, then that's all that matters. But there are some families that are after something a little bit more adventurous than just buckets and spades and fun on the beach. You know, something that will leave a lasting impression. Well, so far so good, but remember they're only halfway through their holiday. You can catch up with the second part of the Kennedys' trip to Zambia tomorrow. Right, well, if you haven't entered today's competition, then get dialing. There is still time to win. Lines are open, but not for much longer, and calls cost 25 pence. And remember, you'll find out whether you've won or not by the end of the show. Go on, pick up the phone. And do stay with us, because we've got all of this still to come on Wish You Were Here Today. Welcome back to Wish You Were Here Today. Now, unless you're some kind of masochist, why travel for 9 hours by plane into a completely different time zone, followed by a 2-hour transfer just to go skiing, when there were some perfectly good ski resorts only 2 hours away in Europe? To find out, I went to Whistler on the west coast of Canada. For a start, you can book a limo for the 2-hour transfer from Vancouver Airport. I am so excited to be here. A British newspaper has described Whistler as the best ski resort in the world, and I cannot wait to get out and explore. Whistler Village looks older than it actually is. Most of the hotels, shops and restaurants have been built in the last 20 years. It lies at the base of 2 mountains, Whistler and Blackcomb. My hotel has its own ski shop, so it only takes moments to get kitted out. You can get sort of fancy stuff like blades and powder skis, but I'm not very good, so I just want the basics. There we go, all kitted out, and it is just like they say in the brochure, shop, slope. I've skied a little bit in the past, but there is definitely room for improvement, so I've booked in for a lesson. Ability groups are divided into 6 different classes, and hopefully there shouldn't be a language barrier. Okay, just one sec. Into the great wide open.
Your ready position is here.
I'm nervous.
Here, we're going to stay to the left on a run called Upper Whiskey Jack.
I've joined a 3-day ski esprit course at ability level 4. It costs £138. So far, Whistler has blown me away. It looks amazing, the skiing is unbelievable, and that lesson was fantastic. I never imagined I could learn so much in a group. I love it here. Derek, a local fireman, has been skiing these mountains for 25 years.
When they first started skiing up at Whistler, it was this very small lift that left from the creek side. And the mountain kind of grew what it is today. Whereas Blackcomb was kind of engineered from the ground up to be a ski hill. We have spacious wide runs, and they have really good ski programs for the young children. There's lots of recreation here.
Full sled into...
And that recreation is not all about skiing.
So you want to pump them.
Next up, skidoo. This is great fun. The trip takes about 3 hours and you drive up into the ancient forests to try some snowshoe trekking in the dark. Spooky. Then it's time to head back to the village. I have heard Whistler described as Beverly Hills on ice. Well, it's not really. I mean, there are a few smart hotels and a couple of very swanky restaurants, but on the whole, most things are very accessible. To me, I don't know, it feels very wholesome. You can't smoke inside, you can't drink outside. It's very, very safe here. As a skier on the slopes, there's one noise that scares the living daylights out of you, or at least annoys you, and it's the kind of sound of a snowboarder screaming up behind you. Now this is Perry, and he represents Canada, the snowboarding team, and he's going to teach me how to scare people today. Now while he's holding my hand, it's just fine. My right buttock is now flat. Left buttock now. I'm making that noise that scares skiers. Listen. Whoa. Not that one. The board. I'm in the back to front. I'm in the wrong way. One way to guarantee that you have the slopes completely to yourself, just like this, is to do the fresh tracks trip. You get up the mountain in the dark before it officially opens, watch the sunrise, and then ski down by yourself. These two mountains have more than 7,000 acres of skiable terrain, 33 lifts, and more than 200 ski runs. So you can come here and never ski the same piece twice. There's nobody here! There's signposting like this all over the mountain, so it's really unlikely that you'll get lost. But if you do, people seem really friendly. There's none of that ski snobbery. You don't feel stupid for asking for the easiest way down. And this run takes me right back down to my hotel on the edge of Whistler Village. The hotel has a mixture of studio and 1-bed and 2-bed apartments. The kitchen is particularly impressive. It's got microwave, dishwasher, coffee pot, the works. And that is actually invaluable because this hotel doesn't have a restaurant or a bar, so it's quite handy having this here. A free shuttle bus takes you from the hotel into town, where you can join all sorts of trips. Well, I'm having a bit of a rest from the slopes. I'm about to go on an eco-zip. Well, I think it's a rest. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Okay, you take a deep breath.
I feel like I've joined the village people. This zip line through the ancient cedar forest is the only alpine one in the world.
It's a bit of vertigo suddenly.
See you later.
It sweeps you across 1,100-metre ravines on 5 different wires at up to 80 kilometres an hour. That was 8. You end up grinning like a fool the whole way down. Now, in my experience, in Europe, terrain parks are full of snowboarders and it's really frowned upon to go in on skis. Apparently, that's not the case here, so I'm going in for a little play. Whoop, if I can get there. Terrain parks are full of things like jumps, half pipes and rails for people to practice their tricks on. The park's divided into 2. This fenced-off section is Black Run Double Diamond Death Trap for experts only. But this down here, this terrifying bit, is for beginners. I think I'll leave it to the experts. This resort is just so well thought out, so well run. It's almost like my mother has had a hand in organising Whistler. Europe's got a kind of edginess, a sexiness, which I miss. But there is no 2 ways. I'm saving up to come back to Whistler this year, I hope. Well, I still haven't managed to get back there yet, but trust me, I am working on it. Skiing is excellent. Now, the snow record in Whistler is first class, and the season is exceptionally long. It's from November until June. You don't get that in France, do you? Now, obviously, the challenge for us on Wish You Were Here today is to discover new and exciting destinations to visit, but also to find different ways of enjoying those places that we know and love. Our Judy there never wants to resist a night on the tiles. Now, you might not believe it from those pictures, but it's worth knowing that it's actually illegal to drink alcohol while walking along the streets in Ibiza. Well, that's all from me for today, apart from to let you know who our competition winner is. That announcement's coming up any second now, so don't go away because it could be you. I'll see you again tomorrow with some more holiday ideas and another chance for you to win a trip of your own. See you then.